Hello and welcome to Plus TV Africa. I am Benga Aborowa with the news on the hour. Some news just reaching us says French President Emmanuel Macron is in a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari in the nation's capital, Abuja. Top of the agenda of the meeting is strengthening the bilateral relations between both countries and France's commitment to providing support for Nigeria's growing security issues. Mr. Macron will depart Abuja to visit Lagos, where he is expected at the Africa Shrine tonight and the commissioning of the French Cultural Center tomorrow. And Lagosians are awaiting the arrival of President Macron at some point today. His visit has resulted in a security cordon around the Africa Shrine area, while officials of Lagos State are overseeing traffic diversions and security on the route. Our correspondent, Lakwe Banjo, was in the Agidingbi axis from where she filed in this report.
So we're here at the Awolowo roundabout. In fact, this is the beginning of the Agidingbi axis where it will be blocked off for Emmanuel Macron's arrival scheduled later today. He is scheduled to arrive in the next couple of hours, begin his journey from here. On my left is the Ikeja airport, and in fact behind me leads to the African Shrine, where he will be scheduled to arrive at 7 p.m. today to explore more about the tourism and culture of Lagos. Just up the road is the new Africa Shrine, where the road has actually been blocked off. In fact, the road has just been regraded and refurbished, especially upon Mr. Macron's arrival. LASMA officials are working tirelessly to make sure there's a seamless progression of cars and not a huge roadblock, as it were, and they seem to be doing a very good job so far. I'm Lakwe Banjo reporting for Plus TV Africa.
Lagosians are not too happy with Governor Ambode. They took to social media to say he was neglecting his job. They said the governor fixed roads around the new Agidingbi Africa Shrine area in Agidingbi, Ikeja, because of the scheduled visit of French President Emmanuel Macron later today. The roads before Mr. Macron's visit had visible potholes that had been neglected by the Lagos state government. Over 400 protesters were at the National Assembly in Abuja today demanding for the proper representation from the lawmakers. The protesters are members of the Citizens Action to Take Back Nigeria group. While wielding various placards, the protesters blocked the main entrance to the parliament. The protesters also called on Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Yakubu Dogara, to step down. Over 50 armed police officers were sent to the location to handle the situation. Some news just reaching us from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, where 7 policemen have been shot dead along Nnamdi Azikiwe Road. The policemen were said to be on patrol when the assailants opened fire on them and sped off. The incident is said to have caused panic as motorists were frightened as gunshots rang out incessantly. The Commissioner for Police confirmed the incident but did not provide any more details on the attack. It said the command will soon issue a statement about the incident as soon as possible. Mieti Allah is demanding an apology from the Benue State government. This is for linking the association to the killings in the state. The group says it has been vindicated with the arrest of suspects over the killings at a Benue Catholic church. One of the suspects arrested has been identified as Aliyu Teshaku, who is from the Tiv-speaking part of Benue State. The Edo State government is going after consulting firm Kai Environmental for collecting money from job seekers. The firm got money from them for promising lucrative jobs in the Ministry of Environment and Sustainability. The government is collaborating with security agencies to bring the operators of the firm to justice. And on the foreign scene, with all of the conflict regarding trade, the Chinese embassy has advised nationals to be wary of traveling to the States as public security in the United States is not good, according to the embassy, and medical bills are over the top. They also mentioned that citizens who are already there should be cautious and especially avoid going out late at night. As the United States has slammed an additional $34 billion tariff on China, a huge feud is brewing between both countries as China vows to retaliate. Meanwhile, the United States Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, is to visit North Korea on Friday. This is his third visit to the country in the past 3 months. Pompeo and North Korean officials will be reviewing a U.S. plan that would lead to the dismantling of North Korea's nuclear and missile programs in a year. Meanwhile, North Korea has been showering the United States and South Korea with goodwill gestures in recent months. This is in vast contrast to its stance in the past. Former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak has been arrested by Malaysia's anti-corruption task force. This happens as investigation continues into how billions of dollars went missing from a state fund founded almost a decade ago. Charges including embezzlement and bribery with government money are expected to be handed down early Wednesday morning. Philip Wilson, the Catholic Archbishop of Adelaide, has been found guilty of covering up sex child abuse. He has been sentenced to 12 months imprisonment, but could avoid jail term after a court ordered for him to be assessed for home detention. The abuse of children dates back to the 1970s when Wilson has since denied the charges, and his legal team is working hard to get the case thrown out. The maximum sentence for concealment is 2 years. And in business, Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Baru, says Nigeria's oil reserves will be increased by 1 billion barrels annually. The target is to attain 40 billion barrels by year 2020. The Nigerian Petroleum Development Company would increase daily oil production to 3 million barrels per day. The NNPC will supply enough gas to generate 15 gigawatts of electricity by 2020 and simulate gas-based industrialization. President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Senate seeking confirmation of Folashodu Shonubi as the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Senate President Bukola Saraki read the letter at plenary after a closed-door session today. Up next is entertainment news with Tokunbo Taiwo.
And in entertainment, Zini Media, a company reported to be Nigerian, claims it was scammed by former professional boxer Floyd Mayweather. To get their money back, the company claims it paid the sum of $210,000 in advance for the $375,000 that was billed to have Floyd make 5 appearances in Nigeria and Ghana in June 2017. But days before the first event, Floyd cancelled. TMZ reports that the visit was rescheduled and so was the fee and the number of appearances, but Floyd cancelled again. Zini is now taking legal action in federal court in California, suing for fraud and damages to their reputation. American actor, comedian, writer, producer and director Ben Stiller has been appointed a Goodwill Ambassador by the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. The announcement was made by the agency on Monday following his visit to Guatemala, where he assisted inhabitants who had fled their homes as a result of violence. Stiller said in a statement that was dispersed by the agency that the families and children he met experienced fear and violence that is beyond imagination. Stiller's height in his career came in comedy roles alike in the movies Dodgeball and Zoolander, and has shown his support for the UNHCR since 2016. Nigerian actor Ignis Ekwe, popular for his role in Everyday People, Cockcrow at Dawn, Igodo and Behind the Clouds, has died. He passed away after a brief illness on the 2nd of July 2018. His daughter Susan Ekwe, also known as Harmony, confirmed the death of her father. The actor was an indigene of Fuga in Edo State, where he had his education and graduated in theatre art at the University of Benin. He also worked not just as a consultant for UNICEF, but as a lecturer at the Mass Communications Department at Auchi Polytechnic in Edo State. And that's it on entertainment. The very best in sports right after this.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko. Going straight to tennis, Aruna Quadri is the new #1 on the African table tennis scene after the Nigerian displaced the Omar Assar of Egypt in the latest ranking released on Monday. And according to the IWTF, the world ranking for July 2018, Aruna Quadri is the best ranked African player in the world. He moved up to 2 places from 22nd to the 20th with 10,234 points in the latest ranking from World Table tennis ruling body IWTF, ahead of Umar Asa, who has 10,233 points. And Aruna Quadri returns to the top 20 and Africa's number 1 after he made history as the first Nigerian to do so in January 2018. And Fan Zhendong of China retains the number 1 spot for a 4th successive month for the first time in his career. And from there, moving over to football, Joachim Low will remain as Germany manager despite the shock early exit from the World Cup in Russia. And the defending champions have finished bottom of Group G after losing 2-0 to South Korea, the first time Germany have gone out in the first round of a World Cup since 1938. And Low started off as Germany manager in 2006 and extended his contract a month ago until 2022. And Germany had reached at least the semi-finals in their last 4 World Cups. Low has guided Germany to the World Cup title in Brazil 2014, 4 years after they finished 3rd in South Africa. And under his leadership, Germany finished as runners-up at Euro 2008 and reached the semi-finals in 2012 and 2016. And in transfer news, Arsenal have confirmed that Mesut Ozil will wear the number 10 jersey at the club as from the new season. And German international midfielder Ozil has been wearing the number 11 shirt since his 50 million euros move from European champions Real Madrid in 2013. And former shares recipient Jack Wilshere left the club at the end of last month, thus paving the way for Ozil to take the number 10 jersey. And Arsenal Academy graduate Wilshere left the club after his contract expired this summer. And moving over to tennis, women's singles champion Gabin Muguruza made a solid start to her defense of her Wimbledon title with a 6-2, 7-5 win over British wildcard Naomi Brody. And the Spanish third seed is bidding to make her 3rd Wimbledon final after also reaching the decider in 2015. And for Brody, the British number 4, ranked 138 in the world, looked nervous initially on her centre court debut. And of course, for the male, Germany's Alexander Zverev defeated Australia's world number 748, James Duckworth, 7-5, 6-2, 6-love to move into the 2nd round of the men's singles at the Wimbledon. And that's all for Sport Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko. Back to you, Benga.
And that concludes the news at this hour. I am Benga Aborowa. Do have a great evening.